Okay, so today I want to talk to you all about choosing a speech topic. So for some people, that's the hardest thing to do, is just choose a topic and to get started. So let's talk about how to do that. So first things first, remember that the informative speech is going to be 3 to 5 minutes long. Okay. It's going to be research based, which means that you will need at least 3 sources. And we'll talk about sources that are appropriate and how to find those sources and things like that in a little bit later of a video. But we want to make sure that we have at least 3 sources. So keep in mind when you're choosing a topic that you want to choose something that research is available for, besides just your own personal knowledge. The goal of this speech is to inform the audience about a topic. So that is pretty straightforward. Informative speech means you want to inform about a topic. So some traditional topic sort of ideas or choices for an informative speech are usually objects, people, events, ideas, lots of different ways you could go with an informative speech. It's pretty open. So 3 to 5 minutes, 3 sources, object, people, places, events, ideas. Those are typical categories of topics. So to find your topic, you got to do some brainstorming. So the first thing you can do is take a personal inventory of your own life. That's a really good place to start. Maybe you divide your life up into, 3 different sections, right? Your early life, your childhood, your middle life, and your current life where you're at right now. So maybe you think about an event that happened in your life. So think maybe you went on a field trip when you were in grade school to this really cool museum and you remember this one exhibit specifically that was very fascinating to you, right? That's one way to go. Events that happen to you in your own life are really good places to start. Think about something that happened in high school. Maybe some of you are still not in high school. Some subject that you're learning about that's fascinating. Some person that really influenced America or the world or you in some way. Those are always good places to start. So start with your own life. It's really good, to start with your own life because then you know something about it already and you are passionate about it. It's important to you already in some way. So that's a good place to start. Another thing you can do is called clustering. And you can see here, those ideas, maybe some of you have done it before, like when you're writing an essay or something and you start brainstorming, you do cluster method where you start maybe with something like your mother, right? My mother. What about your mother? What is she like, right? She likes sports. She's very religious. She is a leader. She's intelligent. She's a hard worker. Well, how do we know she's a hard worker, right? She cleaned houses and she was a waitress on top of running a household, right? She's religious. She went to church. She taught Sunday school. She gave to charity. So you do a cluster and then you can either know that you have ideas to talk about or maybe one of those branch out ideas is your topic now, right? So there's lots of ways you can go with that. So drawing a diagram or clustering, that's good for some visual people more. Another way you can go is the alphabet, which it sounds weird to do this, but maybe you say A, what starts with an A? Aardvarks, Antarctica, artichokes. B, boys, breakfast, bacon, burgers. Oh, I'm hungry. Okay, but you're starting to think, right, about all these things that start with a B. Maybe one of those things will pop out at you and you're like, actually, I would like to write a speech about that. It's one way to go. Another thing you can do, the last resort you have is an internet search. You can Google informative speech topics, but know that if you do that, everybody who Googles informative speech topics is going to get that same topics that pop up right away, right? So you want to try to be original and you want to save that as a last resort option, but that is one final option you can take if you're just really stuck and you can't think of a topic. So once you have a topic, you want to narrow that topic down. Okay, so you want to start with something like maybe you start with animals, right? Well, that's too broad of a speech topic. Animals, are you kidding me? You can't talk about in depth, really anything specific with just animals for 3 to 5 minutes. You can't cover it all, right? So that's too broad. That's way too broad. So maybe you say pets, right? Well, pets still pretty broad. Like what kind of pet? You have cats, you have dogs, you have ferrets, you have parakeets, right? That's pretty broad too. And you can't really go in depth and really get to the heart of it if you just do something like pets. It's too broad. Maybe you go reptiles. Okay, reptiles as pets. That's still pretty broad. Bearded dragons. Okay, that's pretty specific. Caring for a pet bearded dragon is very specific, right? That's a really good place to start a speech topic, right? That's a really good topic. Caring for a pet bearded dragon is a really good way to narrow your topic down. So think about when you choose your topic, when you have an idea of what your topic is, you need to make sure, is it specific enough? Now, you don't want it to be so specific that you can't find information or you can't come up with main points for it, but you want it to be narrowed down, okay? Narrow that down. So you want to post your topic. There's a discussion board open in this folder for informative speech topics, and you're going to need to post those topics. Those are going to be due Thursday at midnight. So with your 12-hour grace period, technically the latest you should post is Friday at noon, and that would still be acceptable. For that assignment, you're going to want to include your topic and narrow it down as narrow as you can go. And you also want to include your general purpose and your specific purpose. Okay? So we talked, the readings that you'll read this week talk about this as well, page 260 and 261. But to talk about it a little bit here, your general purpose is going to be to inform. That's for everyone. That's knocked out already. Just type down to inform, okay? Your specific purpose, that's going to be unique to you. Your specific purpose is going to be exactly what you want your listener, your audience, to get from your speech, to take away from it, right? So maybe your specific purpose for caring for a pet bearded dragon is, I want my audience at the end of my speech to know exactly how to care for a pet bearded dragon, right? That's a specific purpose. There's lots of different ways you can go with that. So once it's narrowed down, so for example, baseball, too broad, but how to coach a little league team, narrow. Maybe your general purpose is to inform. Your specific purpose is, I want my audience to understand the ins and outs of how to coach a little league team, right? That's a specific purpose. So it's different than your central idea, which is your thesis statement. Okay, it's different than that. Your specific purpose guides you in how to write the speech, right? So once your specific purpose, this is exactly what I want my audience to learn. You know what to include in your speech and what to leave out of your speech. Because you only have 3 to 5 minutes. You're choosing the most important information. And your specific purpose is going to help you know what that information is. Okay, so again, make sure to post your informative speech topic, your general purpose, and your specific purpose on the discussion board by Thursday at midnight, and I will need to approve those topics before you move forward on your speech. So I will definitely let you know as soon as I can, as soon as those are in. After that Friday at noon, last day to post, I will comment and make sure that we know, yes, you should move forward, or maybe make that more specific and more narrow. Okay, so of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, shoot me an email, let me know, and we'll get it taken care of.